Yes, you're on the South Australian Sports Show. Poppy, sometimes you get the big names in the studio.
You do?
None bigger than this in the NBL as a basketball coach. Joey Wright from the Adelaide 36ers joins us. Joey, how are you?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, let's start a little bit about your career, because you've been here a while now, so most people see you as the coach. And let's talk about your time at the University of Texas. How were your 4 years there?
That was many pounds ago, but
Many pounds ago.
look, I enjoyed my college career. It was great being there at the university. I don't think I had a better 4 years of my life, and don't tell my wife that. But look, it was great. We played some really good basketball during that period of time, won some big games, and I just really enjoyed the experience.
A lot of talk in Australia about whether I take the college route, whether I stay in Australia and play. I mean, you've seen both worlds now. Which way do you see it?
Look, I think it comes down to the individual. It really depends on what they want to do. You can look at people like Matthew Dellavedova, who went over and did his 4 years and went on to play in the NBA, or someone like Chris Goulding, who didn't go over, decided to stay here, and he's making a sizable amount of money as well. So I think it's cases made for both sides, but it really depends on the individual.
In this day and age, Joey, is playing in one league, a la the college system, against, say, the NBL in Australia, give you a better opportunity to take that next step? I mean, is it obviously the college or not so?
If you're talented right now, NBA is going to find you.
Yeah.
If you're talented, they're going to find you. You look at someone like Joe Ingles, who started in the NBL and made his way to the NBA. If you have talent, they will find you.
Yeah, the net certainly has cast. You came out here 95, 96 to play with Geelong. Did you know much about basketball in Australia before? I know you're an intelligent guy and I know you would have done your research, but back then it wasn't quite as easy as to jump on the computer and get that information. So did you know much when you first came out?
Well, as intelligent as I am, I lost a drinking game to Mike Mitchell and Freddie Cofield while I was on a U.S. tour with those guys, and they said, look, you can drink with us, you know, you can drink this much, then if not, you got to go to Australia. We're telling you it'll change your life. It's the greatest place in the world. And I lost a bet, and I called Geelong up.
I lost a bet.
So I came here on a bet.
Yeah, the negotiation recruiting was a little bit different. Yeah. And you've been here a while, then you've gone back to the States and come back. And if we jump forward to your coaching, and we won't talk about your time coaching in the United States over there, but the Brisbane Bullet era for you, I mean, Eddie Groves, the owner, put a lot of money in. So the expectation is you need to win. I'm putting a lot of money in. Yeah. Won a championship there. How did you find that time?
Look, it was a great time. Eddie had the club about 5 years before I got there. They were doing fairly bad when I got there. So it was no way but up. They finished last year before, so I thought I could do a little bit better than that. So Eddie was willing to put the money in to get the players we need to be successful. I just think they needed to be managed properly, and we did that and got some wins. So it's a great time. All
right, then the Gold Coast after that. That wasn't on a drinking thing, was it? They recruited you on that one?
They did recruit me on that one. Look, Gold Coast, Brisbane obviously folded. So I spent a year over in Cyprus coaching, and that was an experience in itself.
Yeah.
And then when Gold Coast opened up, I really wanted the opportunity to get back in Queensland and back in the NBL and coach, so I jumped at the opportunity.
All right, then you finish up in Adelaide. Have you thought about going to a team that's being successful before you get there? Clearly Brisbane were on the bottom of the ladder. Adelaide weren't in great shape when you arrived here, and to your credit, you've taken them from bottom to second, and everybody's going, Joey's the maestro, and then suddenly it's dropped a little bit, but still finals bound and or dangerously close. How are you finding it now? Sydney are outrageous this year with the money that they're spending. Perth, of course, we know have plenty of money. New Zealand have plenty of money, and you go Melbourne have plenty of money. So 4 big clubs throwing a lot of money, and I know my last few years trying to recruit players when you can't match the offer. Is it impossible?
Look, it's not impossible, but it does make it tough. I think it's about a $20,000 to $25,000 buffer in there where players will kind of go, yeah, I'll go, I'll stay. They're blowing that out the water right now.
Wow.
They're blowing that out the water. So I mean,
makes it tough.
It makes it tough. I'm offering a guy 80 and he's getting 160 from another team. So he's double the salary. So
What are their coaches getting?
Oh, I don't get that much.
Joey's not here doing the interview. That much. He's selling something on holiday, I would say.
Yeah, I don't get that much. But look, it makes it tough, but at the end of the day, they got to get out there on that court, and we got to try to make our team look better. Whether strength and conditioning, whether it's shoot better, whether we run plays better, whatever, just to compete.
I get the feeling though the league, and we're just talking off here, get the league's got a little bit of momentum. The backward steps have stopped, and it's inching forward at least.
I agree with that. I think it's more buoyant than it has been for a long time. And Larry Kesselman's played a big part of that.
Yeah.
My concern, on the positive side we've got that, is life after Larry in a couple of years. I don't know how you see it, Joey, but that worries me a little.
It's a bit of concern because Larry's really done a great job of coming in. He's put a lot of money into the league. He's marketed extremely well. He's brought some sponsors in, and he may not leave in a couple of years. That's the thing. He may stay on board and stay in it for the long haul, and I'm hoping he does because he's done a great job. So.
I hope he would too. Let's talk about some of the guys that you've recruited. Majak Deng is coming in. Tell the viewers a little bit about him.
Look, Majuk is an interesting prospect. He has a high basketball IQ. He shoots the ball extremely well. He works really hard. He's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. So you would think it should be some success in there for him. He is a bit undersized as far as weight, and he's going to have to put some additional weight on it, and we'll be working on that. But he's interesting. I can't say how I think he'll do, but I think he'll be a very good player.
I love the description, see. You talk about a footballer, he's good on both sides of his body, he's got a nice vertical leap. We talk about wingspan, a high basketball IQ. Does that mean he just game smart? Is that what it is? Like a Jarman or a Greg Williams used to be. They just know how to play the game. They just naturally run to where the ball's going to go rather than chase a ball.
That's what Joey's saying.
Yeah, okay.
So, because if he comes out here and he can't do that, then that reflects on Joey.
Then it's on me. Look, he's
But they're exciting, those type of players.
Oh, he's a gym rat. I mean, he just stays in the gym. He was at the University of Louisiana Monroe, and I knew the assistant coach there, and he said he used to go 3 a.m. in the morning, go get him, tell him go to sleep, go lay down. You got stuff to do tomorrow, and he'd leave, and then sometimes come back at 6 in the morning.
Wow.
So go home for 3 hours. He's just a workout, gym rat as we call him. So
you're talking about a kid though that's come from Sudan.
Yes.
His family's been relocated to Australia.
Opportunity.
Then he's had a chance to go to university. So those kids are more desperate than the kids that have had a lot of luxury. So there's a commitment with them. Anthony Drimmick, I'm interested in Anthony, and a lot of the viewers wouldn't know much about him. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Look, Anthony's an exciting player. He has a heart and soul that coaches look for. He goes out there and plays hard. He can shoot the ball at 6'6" as well as anybody. He's a little streaky, but when he gets going, he can really light it up, and he's a natural scorer. Competitor, scorer, shooter. I've been looking at the kid since he was 16, going, he's going to be a great player one day, and so the opportunity to coach him is having the opportunity to coach him is great.
All right, it's got a couple of really good young kids coming in. Still got a couple of import spots, and that'll pan itself out. I read somewhere where you said you're not in a hurry, so that means you either haven't got any money, you've got to hold on to it. Sorry, someone. Or I'm only gagging. You're searching the market, but sometimes you lose a player that as a coach you go, this guy was not only was a really good player, he was a key in the club's success. And Petrie struck me as that kind of player. How difficult to replace someone like him? Because the money took him to Brisbane. He had family reasons and personal reasons for going as well, but those guys are really difficult to replace.
Oh, he was probably shoe-in captain next year. Ideal team guy, ideal coach's guy. I mean, he embodied everything we were about at the club, and so to lose him is tough, and he's going to bring that wherever he goes. He's just a great guy. He's going to bring that wherever he goes, and look, we wish him well. I'll think if a player goes, and especially for the circumstances he went, money and family, he can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you a little bit, Joey, to finish up with. First time you had any exposure to Australian basketball? Was it a college? I know we came through. We don't need to talk about you. I played against Joey at college.
Yeah, well, let's keep the college stories here.
No, you gotta let me tell this. Look, I was a sophomore, so I was 18 years old, and I was in college, and we played against the Australian All-Star squad at the University of Texas. And I go out in the court, and it's my very first game ever playing. at the university. So I go out on the court and I'm pretty excited. And I look around, I see what I thought was an old guy, balding in the top, looked a little chubby. And I told the guys on the team, I said, I'm going to kick his butt. I said, he's the point guard. I'm kicking his butt. You pick out one.
Yeah.
And we all picked out one. We all picked out one.
I'm going for the slow white guy.
So Drew's on that team. I'm going for the ball guy. Look like
You already know white men can't jump, so
That's
that's
a little
covered.
inaccurate. Sure, I had the comb over.
You had the comb over. It was a comb over, but I knew it was under there. And I'm 5 minutes in the game. Phil got to kicking my butt in ways I'd never seen in my life. He beat me in every kind of way possible. I got to the game and got to the locker room afterwards, and my players talked about that old man kicked you. That old man killed you. I said, yeah, he did.
Well, it's worth knowing I was 19 at the time. Just looked like an old. But from there, that joke aside, did you have much exposure in that 4 years to international basketball?
Only those tour teams. So we had one tour team every year that would come over and play, whether it was an Australian team or a team from Europe. We would have, during that time, that was fairly common. I wasn't aware enough to know international basketball overseas, and people got paid for it. I didn't know any of that. I had my little world, and I was from Indiana, and we just loved basketball. I had no idea all that other basketball was being played.
All right. One thing for the coach is he likes to know that behind the scenes, behind him, off the court, that things are going to be running pretty smoothly. And it appears that the Sixers are starting to put those pieces in play. Big Joe, friend of yours, and now he's medium-sized Joe. He's gone from Big Joe to Little Joe. Just been recruited by the Sixers. How important is he? Because it's someone you've worked with before, someone you trust. Is there a sudden comfort that you can focus on other things now instead of having to deal with other stuff that Joey can take care of, Big Joe?
As that staff, and that front office gets stronger and better, it just makes us better. I mean, it's hiccups that sometimes cost us games, or cost us a tough game, and it has nothing to do with basketball. Big Joe's great at taking care of all that stuff. For 10 years he worked for me, and I just didn't know how good he was because I just didn't deal with a lot of things that other coaches were dealing with. So I'll look forward to having him back on board.
All right, I think it's going to be a great year for the Sixers. You need to get onto the season tickets. You need to get behind the team. It's going to be pretty exciting down there at the arena. We need to take a break. Joey, thanks for your time. I'm sure we'll get you a couple of times during the year, and appreciate you sharing that story with everybody. We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment.